Hello, hello, hello. Here we are. Happy Thursday, my friends. Hey, guys. Hey, hey, hey. I jumped the gun 2 minutes early, but I think I do that every time. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Jen. Hi, Randy. Hi, Monique. I'll grab you in a second. So, make sure that you have whatever grounding thing you can grab to help me not short circuit anything this evening. Hi, Tiffany. Looking forward to our session tomorrow. I'm sorry, that sounded creepy. Ah. Hi, Christine. Oh, Christine says she's watching on her YouTube on TV. How freaking cool is that? I know Randy and Jean sometimes do that. Hi, Jean. Hi, Amy. See, I remembered. Hello on the big screen. Hi, Kim. Hi, Kate. I'm glad you like creepy because I'm here to help. Oh, Lord. Hi, Lori. Oh my God, what am I doing? I forgot to grab Jen. Oh my God, do you see me like not knowing what I'm doing on here? Okay, I think I clicked that. I got Jen. Okay. Ooh. Hi, Ron. Sorry, Jen.
That's okay. I knew you'd come grab me when it was necessary, so it's fine.
I remember eventually. Oh.
He's good.
Hello, hello. It's only 7:01, so give people a minute. Hi, Cindy. You look pretty.
Thank you. I put extra lights up in the room.
Ooh.
I know. Hey, Ron.
Hey, Rosa. How is everybody feeling after that 555 portal that was yesterday? Wait, I have it.
You did it. I'm
oh my
so
God,
proud of you.
That's attractive. Okay. We're off to a rip-roaring start tonight. Oh my goodness. Well, tonight should be interesting anyway.
I think so.
I know something's up because I asked James to bring me home a Whopper. Okay, backstory, right? Because that doesn't make any sense. Like a Whopper with cheese with no meat from Burger King is my ultimate comfort food.
Did you say no meat?
Yeah, no meat.
Okay.
Just the Whopper, like the bread, the cheese.
Bread and toppings.
Yes. It makes me feel so comforted.
Gotcha.
Just FYI. I remember like time to go to Burger King. Like, what's wrong, honey? Hey, Tish. Hey, Jess. Hi, hi. Hello, hello. Stop it. Cindy says she also gets no meat Big Macs. I get no meat Big Macs too. They're so good. It's the special sauce. Oh my God, that's so funny. I love like this community because like every day it's like I feel like I'm so weird and everyone's like, no, us too.
We're all there.
We're all
It's okay.
we're all very weird. We're so
We are
weird
all
that
there.
it's normal now. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I kind of want that
Ooh.
too. But the McDonald's by us messes up everything every single time, so I just can't patronize them any longer. The frustration is too much.
Well, here's a fun fact about the buns that they make. They take 30 days to process out of your physical body.
Why are you like this? What are you doing? I don't want to hear about that, especially when a Big Mac has like 300 buns on it.
Do you like my weird information?
I don't think it's weird. It's killjoy information.
Well, yeah, it is a bit scary. By the way, I happen to love Big Macs, so
yeah, forget it. Don't worry about Jen. We're gonna pretend we didn't hear that. It goes right through my upgraded digestive tract. Gets stuck nowhere. Hi, Jacinda. Tonight we're talking about lower chakras and digestion. Randy says, shit, I just ate one this week. Exactly. It's fine. We just have to have some balance. I just told somebody today, like, just eat the thing you want to eat. Like, let's not make that our struggle right now. Everything else is so much. Just eat what you want to eat.
Too much struggle. Do what you need to do.
Oh my God. All right. Well, shall we?
Let's do it.
I'm just going to put this ring on too. And look, I found a hair tie when I cleaned my office.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. You have no idea. All right. Whew. You guys ready? Oh, I totally shoved a fork in some Nutella before coming over here. So don't you worry, Tisha. I got you. Hi, Catherine. All right. Let me get my act together. Are you ready, friends? So let's just start by connecting our energies, grounding in, smoothing out. Let's go ahead and close your eyes, roll your shoulders up to your ears and down your back. Softening and lengthening your spine. Releasing your belly, opening your chest. And take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Release through your mouth. In through your nose. And out. And one last time. Taking a moment now to call all of your energy into your body. Breathing your energy in, calling it in from the past and the future, calling it in from your day and your thoughts, allowing yourself to be here in this moment, present, in your body, clear and calm, grounded and holding the energy. Receive one more nice deep breath in. Let it go. And here we are. You know, I always do this in this kind of a setting, and I'm like, why don't I do this all day? Just breathe and drink my cocktail. Okay. No, we have our curio. We have a purple being. There's no rest for the weary around here. Okay, so our curio here, purple being here. Council, laughing, and Ashtar there. Okay, so we have a full house this evening. And I'm not sure, but I think the council is here because it's a standing date. So, no, hold on. They are saying the Purple Crescent Council is saying, are there any, can they field any questions? Yes.
We actually did have a question. A couple of things are related to our curio last week, but there was a Purple Crescent question.
Okay.
So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about feminine cycles and the changes that have been happening. And someone has said 2 cycles ago how their period was raging, and then now it's kind of a little bit more or less back to normal. So the question is this happening more on a collective scale as a release, or is it personalized for the person based on the sign that the full moon is in?
Say that last part again about this. What the?
If these feminine cycle changes are happening at a collective scale, or if it's personalized based on the sign that the full moon is in when they have their cycle.
Gotcha. So it's personalized based on the person, not necessarily the astrological sign that the moon is in. Some people really, well, everybody is experiencing that transition differently, and the amount of shedding and shifting is directly correlated to the amount of healing and trauma that needs to, or healing of trauma, sorry, that needs to happen in that area. Also, for example, if a person is currently involved in doing a lot of root chakra and sacral work, they are, like during this time, that they're likely to be experiencing things on a more intense level, but everybody's moving at their own unique pace. And they're saying specifically, if you have experienced a big shift in your menstrual cycles and now they're evening out, that's a sign that you've completed a phase of healing.
Nicole has a personal question if they're open to asking it. So I'm going to see if I can word this the best way possible.
Jen's got you.
Nicole's wanting to know what her personal, her spiritual gifts are. And so if they're open to answering that, and if not, maybe the answer could be somewhere more around how she could tap in to understand what her spiritual gifts are.
Okay, so they're throwing this one back to me.
Okay.
Nicole, so you have huge pink energy around you and a really huge healing heart and all of those things. But, oh my God, now they're talking to me. Make up your mind. Okay, they're just interrupting me. Okay, so your gift is likely for all of you. If you're looking for what your calling is or what the thing is that you are contributing to this new earth society, what's going to be your thing, right? No other person can tell you that. However, you are likely to find clues in the areas where you have the most resistance to healing. So where are the parts in you, in your life, that you are most resistant to looking at, or you have, shied away from doing? Like what's the work that hurts the most, almost, is what it is, because within that you unlock a very unique healing pattern that's yours. And that allows you to open up to whatever it is you're supposed to be sharing as you heal it. So typically, and this is, kind of, it's kind of something we know, right? Somebody who is has survived being in many different narcissistic relationships and came out on the other end and has all of this experience, right? It would make sense then that they would have this gift for helping other people to navigate their way out of such a relationship, or even to kind of coach them while they're still in it. Like, what do we do? How do we act? All those kind of things. You become an expert in the field where your trauma is most heavily placed, so to speak. And not to glorify trauma and not to glorify the places that are hard to look at, but if you are not getting clear understanding of where you should be focusing or what you have to share, then the answer is likely going to be look at the thing that you are most reticent to touch on. I hope that makes sense. And I just want to apologize in advance. I live next to a field that is being fielded. I don't know, Jen. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is.
It's not, the sound doesn't seem to be coming through though.
You can't see it, right? So it's like this massive, it looks like a crane on a horizontal. So it's just very distracting, but sorry, I'm so sorry. I hope that helps you, Nicole. And I'm done.
The other two questions that we have were sent in before are questions for our curio. So I don't know if anyone else has Purple Crescent questions before we.
They said they'll be here. Gears. They said they'll be here all night.
They'll be here. Okay, be here all night, of course. Every week. I don't want that. Great. So there were some follow-ups from last week. We were talking about Cleopatra and that the wings, and we've kind of gone into that. But the question is Cleopatra also associated with the goddess Mot?
Okay, so first of all, our curio says good evening and is wondering why nobody asked what his hair looks like today. It's straight, by the way.
It's straight today. Okay.
Like mine. I pulled out my flat iron for the first time like all year. So that makes sense. Can we though? Okay. Okay, so he's calling the goddess Mot. He's calling this goddess Maret. Maret is what he's calling her. And he's saying this is where things get quote unquote complicated. Because in the beginning, they were less complicated, but over time, as humans began to tell stories, they became very complicated and convoluted. And many elements of different entities were put together in different places based off of human perception. And so Cleopatra was Cleopatra. She was then known as Isis. He's saying there's a story about Maret being the other other side of, or twin, or some, I don't know, something like that, of Isis. And he said no. Often, and this is not just in ancient Egyptian lore or mythology, but often different elements of a personality will be given a whole different name in story and have its own, will become a character. So, for example, if our curio were to be encapsulated, or not encapsulated, translated into novel form, his fashion sense would become its own whole character in the story. His his deep intellect would be yet another character in the story, and his free loving spirit would then be yet another. So there would be three separate entities that are all encapsulated in our curio in true form, but that are used to illustrate a story. Does this make sense?
It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, because like, wow, this is a lot of like diva energy happening next to me. It's straight and purple.
Thank you. I was curious about color tonight. So
Okay. So he's saying, like, imagine that we're all sitting in our small tent of community with a fire in the center, and we all are sitting and we see each other's um, silhouettes around the fire and see each other's shadows dancing and moving around. And somebody has created a folded packet wrapped in paper with precious incense and leaves and flowers and herbs, and they've tossed it into the fire, and a beautiful aroma is now filling the air, and the sun is coming down. It's almost down, and it is time to connect and tell each other about our days. This is the way that the elven race and the human race once lived. We would have adventures. We would wake up and have adventures. And then we would come back at the end of our day and light the fire. And we would speak of our adventures and who we spoke to, what magic happened, what we learned, what we saw. And everyone would receive the gifts that each gathered together individually. This was a long, long time ago, in the way beginning time. This was before, he's giving us perspective on how long ago this was. This was before our understanding of when Cleopatra was here, for that. So he's asking you, all of you, how does that sound to you? Does it make you remember anything? Do you feel any longings? Do you understand the vision? I think so. Claudia.
it feels like a craving to me.
Yes.
You know?
And so he is reminding us that this is important to keep in our hearts because it's not a story, it is a remembrance. And if we begin to hold these stories as remembrance instead of stories, we begin to build them again. And he hopes that we can, because that's why he's here. Because he believes that we want this too, that we want to remember and return to that remembering.
Okay.
Cool.
I had a follow-up question to last week related to talking about Lord of the Rings and how that was a channeled and inspired message to Tolkien around the story. How much of that inspired story is a reflection of the truth of something that actually occurred?
Less characters, more meaning. So he's saying, and this is for any story you read, right? Whenever you read a story or hear a story, it's important to turn your analytical brain off and run the story through your body. Your body will tell you what has happened. Many things in many stories have happened. They're historical retellings, tomes hidden so that they may be received by you. So when it comes to the Lord of the Rings specifically, this is a telling from Antimony about the experience of the elven race. Well, a partial experience of the elven race, and an understanding of religion, the birth of religion. Is that a theme?
I guess in a way, it kind of comes down to the dominion of man
Okay.
is kind of the ending theme.
So he's saying, yes, it's there are many elements that what we would call truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really important to understand that truth is very relative based upon who it's filtered through. So if we were to speak of things happening on Earth through the elven perspective, they would be very different than our human perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, yes.
Okay. Arlene's asking how Middle Earth would fit into the story.
I don't even know what Middle Earth
is. To the elven perspective, I guess.
All right, so don't be mad at me, but I have to clarify a few things that he's showing me. So when you say Middle Earth, he's showing me a almost like a inhabited inner layer of the earth itself, like underground. Is that true? Is that right?
It's not accurate to the way we perceive the story, but I think I understand what he's getting at. This is outside of the story, I think.
Okay. And then what is this? Oh, Game of Thrones. He's showing me now. This is gonna hurt my head. Okay. Okay, so he's saying that, you know how in Game of Thrones it's like a non-noble blood, not noble blood.
Mm-hmm.
So not impure, so to speak, but like rougher, less sophisticated, less learned, less evolved blood. And God, I wish I knew what Lord of the Rings was. Okay. Okay. So in the story of the Lord of the Rings and in the story of the Game of Thrones, don't make me speak like that. Um, it's it's a similar thing where the pure races are actually being moved out, and the Middle Earth is the unevolved um new blood, so to speak. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
You're asking me, but yes.
It doesn't make sense to me at all, so I'm stumbling on that. Arlene says yes too, thank God. So, and also he's saying that um this is a war. This was a war. More than one war about this exact thing, because they th- there's always been argument over purity mixing with a less evolved energy or blood. And this exists in every dimension, in every realm. And we play it out as racism here. But it's not a foreign concept, and it still exists very much so in their culture.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay.
I'm going to reword Lisa's question just a little bit because I think we've answered it before, but maybe we could ask it as why Arcuria was chosen to, or came forward to work with the PC to talk through you. With you. I'm sorry.
I don't mind answering that full question again, because we probably have people who haven't tuned in last week,
Fair.
So the question is, why me? Why are they channeling through me? And the short answer is that I'm on the Purple Crescent Council. I'm incarnated here on Earth, and I'm also up there, and I'm on the actual council. I don't know a whole lot more about that, and every week I learn more and more about my connection. But I'm also very connected to Ashtar, and Ashtar is kind of like a liaison, and he introduces me to different elements that I've made contractual agreements to connect with, to bring information down here at this time. All of us have different contracts and things that we decided to do to help the earth ascend. All different things. So not everybody came here to be a channel of energies. Not everybody came here to be a physical healer. Not everybody came here to be a teacher. Everyone came with some specific thing that they were going to do. And this is mine, is the channeling of information and connecting to these different councils. Like I said, I learn more and more every week, but that is, I think, up to date on why this is happening now. And last time when we did answer this question, which I think was last week, Ashar did say also very specifically that he channels through many different people. It's not exclusive to me. The Purple Crescent Council also connects to many different people that don't necessarily call them the Purple Crescent Council. That's how I call them. And when you think about names, you think about energy signatures, right? So I'm connecting to an energy signature. The name that my consciousness has chosen to connect with them is the Purple Crescent. So when I call on the Purple Crescent, I connect to that energy signature. It's like a tag, if that makes sense.
That's a good reminder. Jean has a question. Mm-hmm. Does our DNA connect to our aura and our ability to receive electromagnetic transmissions to support healing?
Okay, the Purple Crescent is coming in on this one, and thanking Jean for her inquisitive question. Okay. Um, so, as per usual, it's not going to be a straightforward answer. The what is actually connected to your physical visible aura, which is usually comprised of what we would call colors, different spectrum of colors. Um, our auras are actually the emanations of our, my God, help me, emanations of like our soul stamp. And the aura is also, because of the way that it is, and don't worry, Jean, it's, the question will be answered. Because of the way it is, like, so imagine whatever the soul stamp they're talking about, that it pushes out this field of energy, right? It changes color based on your environment and your interactions with other energy. So if you were to just have your energy without any other stimulus around it, it would not have color. But when it interacts with other things, which it always is when you're here, on Earth stuff, Earth stuff, um, it picks up all the different things and it moves and expands. Now, your ability to receive healing through upgrades, which is what is happening now, has less to do with your DNA and more to do with your heart space. So think of it as reconnection here will allow your actual DNA to open up and expand. This is always the missing link, and this is the place where we've been told not to look for this. So it's hidden here, and this is like your activator of all your healing and all of your incoming transmission. So if you set, this is actually helpful. If you set the intention to soften your heart space and receive all transmissions through the heart space, things will start to feel much better for you. You will be receiving energy in a way that feels more grounded and natural. Most of us are diverting the energy so that it comes in through either our third eye, crown chakra, or nothing. Third eye or crown chakra. And while crown chakra is a receiving portal, the kind of upgrades and massive energy that's coming through now need to come through the most grounded portal, which is your heart center. So if you make that shift to intentionally bring in those healing energies through here, they're going to move through you in a much more organic fashion and feel much better in your body. Does that answer your question? I see something here. What is that? Oh, that's so funny. Josie's asking, is this going to be turned into a video? Yes. Okay. So do we have any other questions? Because
that was it on questions. So if they've got more to just address, we can go straight that way.
okay. So this purple being here, I feel like it's the Grand Central Station lately, wants to talk. What is her name? Garifa? He doesn't really have anything to say necessarily. He's just here to learn. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, sorry. Um, Gariffa is here to learn from Arcurio.
Okay.
Pardon me. It's just like I can see him very clearly, so it's like, Arcurio says, "Don't worry about that.
Interesting.
Don't worry about it." Okay. Um, okay, so Arcurio would like to know if you would like to hear a story.
Yes, we would.
He knows that. He's going to tell you a story about his boots. Oh, heavens. Okay. Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm just like, what the heck? Okay, so Arcurio used to live here on this planet, Earth, in an incarnation. It is not something that happens all the time that one would remember all incarnations on different planets, of course. But in the Alvin race, they do select certain lifetimes to retain based upon whatever they're going to be doing. And Arcurio was on Earth, but he was not a human. He was of the Alvin race at this time, and he lived in the place where uh, uh, he lived. Uh, what we call this. Okay, he lived in the space, but it wasn't space. He lived in the area that would have connected, um, like Canada and those places that way to connect together. Does that make sense? Up there. It wasn't all separated up there. It was just all together. And he lived up there. It was very cold in the winter and very lush and green for about a month and a half out of the year. Um, so it was on a day. It was on a day that was very fine, and he did not require his outer garments, and so he was naked, and he was enjoying his frolic through the woods. He stopped at a stream and he drank water. He ate some berries after smelling them to be sure of their intent. He took a nap in the ferns. He communed with the fairies, even though sometimes the fairies and the elven race do not get along, but on very fine days, everybody gets along. So he laid on the ground and chatted with the fairies, and the fairies danced upon his body, and they laughed, and the fairies invited him to a party. And he said no, because he knows better than that. So then he left the fairies and he went back to his kind of like village, let's say. Um, and his mother had just finished making his boots. They were made of doe skin, and they were very special and pure white. And she had stitched them with blue dyed thread that was also made of the skin. And she had put a beautiful pattern on them that she had pressed the pattern in with her pointy fingernails. And she was so excited to show him that his boots were finished. And he was excited because he had had such a wonderful day running and frolicking, and he was excited to have his new boots because his old boots were worn out. Anyway, so she gives them to him, and he puts them on, and they're too small. And it was very disappointing. And his mother looked like she would cry. So he shoved his feet in as hard as he could and said, "No, no, look, they fit perfectly." I'm so sorry about the story. I just got the punchline. So he then he then wore the boots until they were threadbare, even though they hurt his feet and didn't fit him, because he didn't want his mother to be sad and all of her work to go to waste. But the point is that the elven race has empathy too, and they also have feelings, and they care about each other and others, and they will make sacrifices. So, thank you, Arcurio. I wonder if it'll make more sense later.
I kind of felt like that was a kind of the symbolic story of how we continue to put ourselves in things that don't fit us any longer.
Ooh.
For the sake of the other people around us.
Oh.
Sorry. That was my takeaway.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Well, that speaks to my week.
Oh.
How's it going for everybody else?
Oh, man. He's just laughing. Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions?
I'm going to scroll, make sure I didn't miss anything. If we believe we've seen our soul, how can we know for sure if that is what our color is? That was the only question I missed.
If you believe you've seen your soul, how can you know if that's
going back to the aura? Mm-hmm. How do you know?
So your aura is not your soul. And the color of anything is going to change all the time. So there wouldn't be a specific color it always would be. And when you say you see your soul, be clear though, because I want to make sure we understand what that means. Your soul is your essence, right? Your soul is your God spark. And it is intrinsically linked into your body and into your higher self, and can be at any point in time in many different vessels at the same time. So they're saying when you say you see your soul, they are asking you to maybe look at that again and see if the word soul is what you mean. Do you mean aura? And what is it you think you have seen? Because to see one's soul as an entity is something they don't truly comprehend as an idea. They're not discounting it. They're just saying from their perspective, they wouldn't know how one would do that. Oh, sorry. Okay. So this is actually I've been thinking about this and it's been coming through for a minute. So they want to talk. They've been with me. Caffeine.
Mm.
Be mindful of the way your body is reacting right now to caffeine. It's the way that caffeine interacts with the um, oh god, speaking of the way that it reacts with the biochemistry of your body and the electricity of your body, because of the upgrades coming through right now, might be a little compromised. So be mindful of your caffeine intake. Not saying not to drink caffeine, but to be mindful of drinking it when it feels good to do so and abstaining when it doesn't feel good. And also being aware of what you put in it, um, understanding the biochemistry of it and its effect on your digestion and um, um, yes, so yeah, there's that. Uh, being gentle to your nervous system and your adrenals, your adrenals is important right now, um, as this happens. And they're saying it because there's increased fatigue with what's happening energetically right now. So many are drinking more coffee than usual, and it's not helping because there's only so much. There's a specific intake of caffeine that will make you feel more alert. And then as soon as you hit that threshold, it does crazy things to your body and makes you very jittery, and vibrationally difficult to assimilate the upgrades. So just be mindful of how the coffee is affecting your body and adjust your intake accordingly. And if you feel exhausted, just rest instead of thinking you need to stay awake when you're tired. That's funny. Yeah, it's been intense energy. And remember that you've already upgraded your base frequency. So that's good. As the upgrade, as the Earth's healing continues to move, the next area of the body will be here,
Mhm.
moving up into solar plexus. So just kind of know that. Arlene, right now we're in base and root chakra healing and sacral. Um, Next up is solar plexus and heart. Not yet, but soon.
Do andromedans dream when they sleep?
Yes. in dream time is how they best communicate with us. So depending on the what do you call it? The calling of the specific person. If they live in the mountains and they're channelers, that's what they do. They take a special tea and they have special training, and they are very specific in their dream time, where they make specific visits to different galaxies and conduct business in the astral realm. So they are very busy during their dream time, whereas others with different vocations would have dreams very much like we do.
So we've got a couple of questions left as we're coming into the end of the hour. I'm going to go with Ron's first. How will the 5G technologies affect our frequency upgrades moving forward,
They will not.
if at all?
They will not. Trust that there's nothing that's going to happen in such a way that you will not adjust to it. And
Mhm.
the 5G fear is again of before time, and we're in this time now.
I would just like to say, before we do our last question, I would love for our curator to come back with more stories. As he hinted at last week around Atlantis and Lemuria, that would be great.
No
If
more
he's
boots?
open to-
You don't want any more boot stories?
No, I do, but like he's just summing up my emotions again. It's like, I didn't know, based on Lisa's question, if you wanted to let people know how they can work with you and do other readings, because she's asking if you receive messages for certain people, and so I thought maybe that would be a way to end, if you want to share with people how
Sure.
they can connect and work with you.
Yeah, I do receive messages for certain people. If we're having a session one-on-one, I'll receive messages specific for you. Sometimes when I'm doing a channeling like this, I will get a message in for somebody in the audience. That's happened a few times. But generally speaking, if we're connecting energetically, then I will definitely receive messages for you. I announce my private reading availability through my Instagram stories. So if you follow me on Instagram and check my stories, I usually update those on Sunday night so you can see what's available. Our Curio says yes. Of course, he's coming back with stories, but that was his first story. He said
For the record, I've been thinking about his hair all week. So
yeah, he wants you now to think about the boots. He wants everyone to think about the boots because he said there's a lot of information that he gave us.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, there's a lot in there. He said he very carefully thought out how the story would go, and he told it to us.
Those boots mean many things, I have a feeling.
I think so too. I'm sure we'll get more layers of it at some point.
Uh-huh.
Boots on the ground. I haven't said that in a minute. All right. Well, listen, guys, I have to go get my Whopper, and it has been a pleasure connecting with you tonight. Thank you so much to the Purple Crescent and our Curio and Gariffa over here. And what do I want to tell you guys? I want to tell you guys something. I hope you have a good night. I hope you're kind to yourself and take care of yourself. And I'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. on Instagram and Facebook doing the weekend update. It's Mother's Day weekend. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. On Sunday, I'm having a special Instagram Live with Britta Hamilton. And any of you guys who are ladies, lady peoples, Britta is going to be talking to us about cycles and feminine power, and just so much. She is amazing. If you ever seen her on TikTok, her videos are very interesting. The way that she describes your menstrual cycles, lunar cycles, and the different phases, I find to be incredibly helpful at understanding the different energies that a woman goes through in 1 month, right? So she's going to be here with us on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live on Instagram. So if you want to join in and ask her questions while we're talking, you can totally do that. Otherwise, she'll be on the IGTV later, and then I'll pop it on the podcast. So that's my exciting thing. I hope you have an amazing night. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you for everybody's questions, and I'll see you in the morning.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, YouTube.